UFC's Robert Whittaker unfazed by Chimaev cancellation. Anyone, anytime, anywhere. Bores or bust. Robert Whittaker wanted to fight at UFC Saudi Arabia either way. The former UFC middleweight champion was scheduled to face undefeated contender Khamzat Chimaev in the main event of the UFC's debut in Saudi Arabia next weekend. But that all came crashing down with Chimaev becoming violently ill a week out. In a recent interview with BJ Penn, Com's Cole Shelton, Whittaker says there weren't many options from who he could fight on short notice and that nobody would take the fight at first. The UFC ultimately pulled middleweight prospect Ikram Aliskerov from this Saturday's Fight Night event in Las Vegas to fill in as Chimaev's replacement. He has nothing to lose, everything to gain, and he has a dangerous skill set, Whittaker said of his new opponent Aliskerov, adding that it was a little frustrating having to prepare for a heavy grappling style in Chimaev for the last several weeks only to have his game plan go to waste. Hats off to Ikram for taking the fight, and to the UFC for setting it up, and I look forward to putting on a show. The UFC took some big hits this weekend with the cancellation of its main and co-main events at UFC 303. Conor McGregor and Jamahal Hill pulled out of their bouts. Michael Chandler won't remain on the card, but Hill's foe Carlos Ulberg will, against Anthony Smith. Former champ Whittaker plays the part of a company man, too, fighting whoever the UFC puts in front of him, whether that's on a full camp or a week's notice like we have here. There was no thought to not fight, Whittaker explained. That is my job, that is what I flew across the world to do, and that is how I put bread on the table for my family. I understand I am the main event, a lot of eyes. It's the first card in Saudi Arabia, so I want to be a part of that. As for who he'll be fighting, Ikram Aliskerov is just happy to be here with the opportunity of a lifetime at UFC Saudi Arabia. Though he wouldn't mind a tag from the boss man Dana White. Dana still don't know my Twitter account, but it's until next weekend, Aliskerov joked on X. Robert Whittaker enters the UFC Saudi Arabia headliner off a decision win over Paulo Costa in February. While Russia's Ikram Aliskerov is on a 7-fight win streak, with his last loss coming to the hands of Khamzat Chimaev in 2019. The middleweight title shot was supposed to be in store for the winner of Whittaker vs Chimaev, but that may change as Aliskerov doesn't fit into the top 15 rankings just quite yet.